हरे कृष्ण जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Harinam Sankirtan ki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Yasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govinda reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 6, text number 35. Etat kshattar bhagavato daiva karmatma rupinah ka shraddhadyad upakartum yoga maya balodayam. Etat kshattar bhagavato daiva karmatma rupinah ka shraddhadyad upakartum yoga maya balodayam. Etat kshattar bhagavato दैव कर्मात्म रूपिणः कश्रद्धद्यादुपाकर्तुं योगमाया बलोदयम्. Etat, this, Shatah, O Vidur, Bhagavataha, of the Supreme Person, of Personality of Godhead, Daiva Karma Atmarupinaha, of the gigantic form of transcendental work, time and nature. Kaha, who else? Shraddhadhyat, can aspire. Upakartum, measure in totality. Yogamaya, internal potency. Bala Udayam, manifested by the strength of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. O Vidur, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work and potency of the gigantic form manifested by the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? The froggish philosophers may go on with their mental speculations on the subject matter of the Virat, the gigantic form exhibited by the Yogamaya, the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But factually, no one can measure such a vast exhibition. In Bhagavad Gita 11.16, Arjun, the recognized devotee of the Lord, says, Aneka bahu daravakta netram pashyami tvam sarvato nantarupam nantam na madhyam na punastavadim pashyami vishveshvara vishwarupam. O my Lord, O gigantic Vishwarup form, O Master of the universe, I see innumerable hands, bodies, mouths and eyes in all directions, and they are all unlimited. I cannot find the end of this manifestation, nor do I see the middle nor the beginning. Bhagavad Gita was specifically spoken to Arjun, and the Vishwarup was exhibited before him at his request. He was awarded the specific eyes to see this Vishwarup, and yet although he was able to see the Lord's innumerable hands and mouths, he was unable to see him completely. Since Arjun was unable to estimate the length and breadth of the potency of the Lord, Who else would be able to do so? One may only indulge in miscalculation like the frog philosopher. The frog philosopher wanted to estimate the length and breadth of the Pacific Ocean by his experience of a well 3 cubic feet large, and thus he began to puff himself up to become as big as the Pacific Ocean. But at last he burst and died by this process. This story is applicable to the mental philosophers who, under the illusion of the Lord's external energy, indulge in estimating the length and breadth of the Supreme Lord. The best path is to become a cool-headed, submissive devotee of the Lord. Try to hear about the Lord from the bona fide spiritual master and thus serve the Lord in transcendental loving service as suggested in the previous verse. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. O Vidur, who can estimate or measure the transcendental time, work and potency of the gigantic form manifested by the internal potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Chapter is entitled Creation of the Universal Form. Hare Krishna. So, Lord Shri Krishna, before he departed for the spiritual world, met with Maitreya Rishi and Uddhav, and having spoken confidential knowledge about his own identity, also requested them to give this message to Vidur. And we saw that how Uddhav met Vidur and gave him the news of the departure of the Lord, along with some preliminary knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam, but then following the protocol, being a junior in age, Vidur suggested that, Uddhav suggested that Vidur should approach Maitreya Rishi, who is senior in age and order, and take the knowledge from him. And eventually, Vidur meets with Maitreya Rishi, and now Maitreya Rishi is giving this knowledge. So, it's very overwhelming for Vidur to have discovered that the Lord, in his final hours, remembered him, which is very special. And it reminded me of the pastime of Srila Prabhupada, that just before departing, he remembered one of his disciples, George Harrison. And he handed over a ring to Shyam Sundar Prabhu or some of his disciples and told them that you please give this to him. George Harrison was not initiated, though he wanted to be initiated, but Prabhupada said it's okay because he's already initiated. His name is Harisan, son of Hari. So there is no need of official initiation, and moreover he's already surrendered internally. So let it be. He has already served the Lord. Prabhupada was very pleased with him, and when George Harrison received that very intimate gift from his spiritual master, and when he discovered that Srila Prabhupada thought of him during his final years, he was moved to tears. And there cannot be anything better for a disciple to be remembered by the Guru, especially fondly. And here we can see that Vidura was also one of those intimate devotees of the Lord, confidential devotees, and the Lord chose him to become the medium through which all of us will receive the knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the discussion between Maitreya and Vidura. And we can see that even though this knowledge may seem overwhelming for all of us, at least for me, in my initial days of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, I used to find it very difficult. And I used to try to just skip through these verses because of all that description of the universe and the planets, and it's so technical and can be quite dry. But if the Lord could give this information, at that particular time, goes to show that this is important. So this chapter is entitled Creation of the Universal Form, where we had already discussed that in our philosophy, Sanatana Dharma, we firmly believe that Lord has not just created the universe, but He has also become the universe. Yes. But that doesn't mean that He doesn't have a separate existence besides the universe. Yes. So, therefore, just as we have a body and we are the souls within the body, so also the universe, as it has been described here, is constituting the body of the Lord. Yes, and the Mahat Tattva, the Mahat, which means the supreme consciousness, is pervading. Lord is pervading, and the Lord has etched holes into that body, this universal body, which came to become the residences of the gods. And therefore, the planets above the earth, earth and above, the 7 planets constitute the residences of the different gods who are in charge of the different senses. So when the Lord desired to see a particular god, like Surya, he took charge of the cavity within the universe and began to reside there, and then control the senses, sense of sight for all the living entities in this world. And we see that without the sun, all of us will be blind, effectively. Yes. So in that sense, so beginning with the Mahatattva, the consciousness which started pervading this whole universe, and then from there the false ego, the god in charge of that was Rudra or Lord Shiva. He got his position. And then the intelligence, god in charge was Brahma. He got his place. And therefore, you see Kailash, Satyalok, the abode of Brahma. And then the mind, the presiding deity of the mind is the moon. So he got his place. And then we see that we have, in our body, we have the sense of taste, the ability to speak. We have our karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas. So Varuna is in charge of our sense of taste. So he got his position. Also the karmendriya of speech is presided over by the god of fire. So he has taken his place in the universe. Then we have 2 nostrils to breathe. So the 2 twin gods known as Ashwini Kumaras took their respective positions in the universe. Then we have our eyes, already mentioned that Surya Dev took charge of that department. Then we have our skin. We feel sensation. So Vayu took charge of that. And our skin has hairs on it. So the trees, they are compared to the trees. So the god of trees, some places it is said, Oshadhi, the god became responsible for the hairs on our body, which also, helps us feel sensation and itch and all other sensations related to the skin. And then we have our sense of hearing. So the gods known as Digadevatas, they took charge of that department. As we know, ether is responsible for the sound, the directions, so those gods. And we have genitals. So Prajapati, the god, took charge of that department of pleasure of sex life. Then the anus is controlled by another god known as Mitra. And then we use our legs to move from one place to another. And we have the Lord Upendra, who became in charge of that capacity. So we can see that our body is a microcosm. And I had said that before also, like we have 70% water in our body. The universe also has 70% water. So our body is a sample of the universe. And we see that when the elements in our body is disturbed, if you go to any Ayurvedic doctor, they will say that, especially when the season changes, when the Ritu changes. Now we can see that it is Varsha Ritu. Naturally, there is going to be disturbances. There's going to be contamination in the water. So if there's contamination in the water outside, that water is going to enter into the water within our bodies and going to cause disturbances. So our body is nothing but a micro-universe, and there are scores of such bodies, such small universes, but they're all a part, or amsha of the universal body of the Lord known as the universal form or Virata Rupa. So the reason why this has been described is to take us from what we know to what we don't know. An example is taken. If a young child is taken out in the open for the first time, and mother is trying to show the child the moon, and the child has no clue. All the child knows is this compound and maybe a tree growing there in the compound. So the child is shown the tree. Says, look at that tree. Can you see that tree? Oh yeah, I can see that tree. Okay, can you see those two branches? Those two flowers growing on that twig? Oh yeah, I can see that flower. Okay, can you see the white shining object between the two twigs? Oh yeah, I can see that. Okay, that's the moon. So just as a small child is shown a tree, and then he is shown the moon, even though the distance of the tree and the moon is incomparable, however, it is used as a medium to point out towards the moon. Similarly, we being in our conditioned state, who have no clue of who God is taken on a journey from what we know to what we don't know. We certainly know our bodies, isn't it? We certainly know our bodies. Therefore we speak about the koshas. Annamay kosh, pranamay kosh, manomay kosh, Vijnanamay kosh, Anandamay kosha. We study that. It's like layers, like onion, covered with different layers. And then finally, the scriptures speak about differentiate, that's not what you are. You are not anna. The body is made of anna, food actually. The body is made out of food. So naturally we know we are not food. You see? We are not food. So then what are you? Okay, then are you the mind? You're not the mind. Mind is continuously changing. You can see the mind. You can sense, oh, I'm not in the mood, I'm in the mood. So all these things, by analysis, by observation, you can understand that you are the observer, and that thing that you are observing is the object, it is a subject. So definitely there is going to be a difference, yes? There is a difference, and like we see the book and you say that this book is mine, obviously the book is not you, isn't it? There's a difference between the observer and the observed. So therefore, the scriptures take us from, and that's how we start also our spiritual lives, with what we know to what we don't know. So if you come to the conclusion that, okay, I am not even this intelligence, then what am I? And then you're left with, to conclude that I am the spirit soul. So just like that, when you observe the universe and you understand that if you know what you are, then you can understand the Lord. Just as you have rice and you want to know if the rice is cooked, all you do is just take one particle of rice and you understand, or sabji or whatever you're making, and you press it and you know that the sabji is cooked. So just like that, there being similarity between us and the Lord, our bodies and the body of the Lord, we can understand the nature of the Lord. And the Bhagavatam is trying to paint this picture of the universe. Yes? Like, we have all seen images, on social media or on WhatsApp, and people send you these images, optical illusion images. And you look at it and you see, oh, what is this? Oh, it's a tree. Oh, it's a squirrel on a tree, branch of a tree. And then you say, okay, there's a bird flying here. And then they say, okay, now take it away from your eyes. And then you take it further away, and then you see an image emerging. What is that image? Oh, it's a face. I can see a face. How many of you all have actually observed it? Huh? The optical illusion. So the whole exercise is to find the face within that image. On first observation, you may see, oh, it's a tree, bark, it's a squirrel, or it's a bird. But then a broader vision of things, you can see that, oh, it's a face. Oh, it's a face, like that. So similarly, the Bhagavatam is trying to paint a picture and is trying to show us that face and trying to point us towards that Lord. And as we all know, we have experienced that once you see the face in that image, then there's no going back. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And even after 20 years, if they show you that image, oh, I know it's a face. So it is this exercise that the Srimad Bhagavatam is also helping us to develop that image of the Lord within this universe, so that we can be Krishna conscious and able to appreciate and learn to see the Lord in everything. Because that is a fact. It's not an imagination. And here, as we can see from the description of Srimad Bhagavatam, so here, as the universe has been described, is not the universe which modern astronomers would see through their telescopes. Obviously not, isn't it? Do we see the gods when we see through? Have you ever seen any astronomers or scientists say that, oh, we have discovered the planet of this god, and we saw him strolling on the gardens there? No. In fact, I was telling, spoken many times before, that there was this Facebook photo somebody uploaded of an astronaut in space, in his space suit, and the spacecraft behind him, and the Earth behind him. A beautiful backdrop of the Earth, blue Earth and ocean, and wonderful image actually. And of course, it could be photoshopped. It's not true. No astronomer will, astronaut will hold a plaque like this, but he was holding a plaque saying that I don't see God out here. He's in space, and generally when people speak of God, they say Bhagavan. God is up there. So he's holding a plaque saying that I don't see God out here. And then somebody posted a comment on that. Just wait till your oxygen runs out. Or somebody also commented, remove your helmet, you'll be able to see him. So obviously we don't see the universe the way the Bhagavatam has painted the picture of how the universe is. That's not how we see it. But nevertheless, it follows the same principle. What Prabhupada is saying here, that the universe is gigantic. The gigantic form is exhibited by the Yogamaya internal potency. And even modern scientists, astronomers, they agree on this point, that the universe is infinite. When you look, or astronomers look into space, it tends to defy their senses. It tends to defy their measurements, their instruments. It even defies their very imagination. They say something like light years. The distance traveled by light in a year is known as light years. Even though it's years, unit is years, but it is not years, it is actually distance. It's not time. So the speed of light, so they say the universe is 98 billion light years. That means the light has traveled for 98 billion years. So what is the speed of light? They say that it is 300,000 kilometers per second. So that means the distance between the moon and Earth you shine a light, a torch from here, it takes about 1.28 seconds to reach the moon. It takes about 8 minutes for the light to reach Earth from the sun. So the distance traveled in 1 second is 300,000 kilometers. Imagine how much it will travel in an hour, how much it will travel in a day, how much in a week, how much in a month, how much in a year. It's inconceivable, is it not? How far light could have traveled in a year. And the scientists are saying that 93 billion years when light has traveled, that is what is the part of the observable universe. All that you can observe in the universe is what spread across 93 billion light years. And they say that there are parts of the universe which are not observable because the light from that portion of the universe hasn't had the time to reach us. Since the time of the Big Bang, they say, yes, explosion, according to them, that there are certain corners of the universe, or whatever they may call it, it's so far away that light has not even reached us. So therefore, that part probably exists, but we are not even aware of it. And as if that is not enough, they say that there's something called as dark matter and dark energy, which constitutes about 28% and 67% and all that. So basically, they don't even know what is that dark matter, dark energy. So definitely that the scientists also agree on this thing, on this aspect that the universe is unlimited. Unlimited. Space and time and everything is not understood. But we can understand that it is a form of the Lord. And Prabhupada gives the example of Arjun in the Bhagavad Gita. When the Lord showed his universal form, and Arjun was so bewildered by seeing that. So bewildered. And he was not capable of seeing that form. As we know, that the Lord empowered him, gave him the eyes which the gods possess. Because otherwise he would not have been able to. He was a human being, ultimately. And then with those eyes of the gods, Arjun could see the universal form, the Vishwarupa Darshan. And Prabhupada is saying, even with those eyes, he could not see the limit. Could not see the limit. It was that big. And in fact, he was so disturbed and so upset. Why he was upset was because the Lord has unlimited forms. As we know that even the spiritual forms are all unlimited and eternal also. But the material form is eternal, but it is continuously changing, just as the soul is transmigrating from one body to another. So also, the material world is changing. So, Arjun was perplexed and he was upset because he got to see that aspect of the Lord which generally the Lord never shows to his devotees. He keeps it hidden. Because that's why when Arjun asked Krishna that, what are you? Or should we say, who are you? What are you? What are you? Who are you? It was so, because generally we say, when we are frightened, we go to God, we say, Bhagavan, bachao. But here it is the opposite. Arjun is seeing God and he is frightened. Isn't it what people say? We say that our religion teaches to love God, not to fear God. Is it not? We say that our religion teaches to fear our karmas and to love God. Why? Because karma does not forgive you. Karma never forgives you. Avashyam anubhoktavyam kritam karma shubha shubham na bhoktam kshete karma kalpa koti shatairapi. Millions of years may pass, but if you have not experienced your karma, the karma will wait for you. So karma never forgives. But God forgives. If you go to the shelter of the Lord will forgive. Amazing things can happen. The Lord can. Why not? I mean, just recently somebody posted some photograph of this recent plane crash. And that Bhagavad Gita emerging out of the pile of ash. Even metal has melted. And the book escaped unscathed. Quite a miracle, actually. And that one man who survived goes to show how the most impossible things can be possible. He just walked out of the plane, just he's walking on the streets. When 241 people flying in that aircraft passed away, and he's walking his way to the hospital, everyone is confused. Who is this? So people are taught that, or rather we should train people to fear karma, fear this material world and love God, because He can actually free you from the reactions of our, and free us from the cycle of birth and death. But here Arjuna is experiencing just the opposite. He's seeing the form of Krishna and he's frightened. And he says, enough is enough now. Who are you? What are you? And Krishna says, Kalosmi lokakshayakrit pravriddho. I am time. Don't worry, Arjuna, I'm only showing you this because you asked for it. Because this form devotees don't see. Who see? Those who are not devotees. An example is given, like a crocodile. You see, a crocodile's jaw is very, very powerful. If it holds on to the leg of even an elephant, as we know in Gajendra pastime, Indradumna, Trikuta. The crocodile held on to this elephant's leg and he couldn't free himself. That's the power of a jaw of a crocodile. But still that same jaw, when it carries its babies, it's actually love and affection. The children, the baby crocodiles, they are very happily languishing in the mouth, and the mother is taking it from here to there, and they are absolutely fearless. But when it holds on to the feet of a deer or maybe a wild boar, and that's it, spells death for it. Similarly, Krishna is the same, but for non-devotees, he becomes Kala. He becomes death. Kalosmi lokakshaya. I've come here to destroy. And Arjun, look at all these people. All those people whom you fear, whom you adore even, but you're not sure whether you will be victorious. Bhishma, Drona, Drishtadyumna, all of these people, all will be gone. They're already killed by me. And don't worry, even if you don't fight, you are not indispensable. I've killed them already. I'll ensure that they will die. So don't think if you don't fight, they will survive. Even if you don't fight, they will die. Because I have decided that. So fight, take the glory. Take the glory. Like, in villages you have, sometimes, at least in our village we had, sometimes a poisonous snake comes crawling into the courtyard. And then the elders of the family would go out and they would tell their family members to stay, especially the ladies and children, you stay inside. And all the gents will go with the sticks and bang, bang, and they'll beat the snake to death. And then after the snake is dead, then all the members of the family will come out. And the small children also will come out, yeah? And the elders will give the stick to the child. And the child will go and they'll tell the child, go beat the snake, go beat the snake. And the children will go bang, bang, bang. And just see, the child has killed the snake. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. And the child is feeling so good about himself. So just like that, in a way Krishna is saying that Arjun, you're Savyasachi. You can wield the bow with both your hands, but still, you see, it's not you who will kill these people. It is by my desire, my energy of time that they will be killed. So you just act like an instrument. Nimitta matram. Like children, you see, they get the glory, even though they have not done much. So Krishna, the God is telling, of course, that don't think we are the doers. Don't think that the world will not go on if we are not there. We don't do this service. No, the world has been going on before we are here, while we are here, and after we are gone also. In fact, we can be very surprised actually. We will be very surprised to know that how fast people can forget. Even on the funeral, you see, when memorial services, people are already planning or they are discussing current affairs. While the memorial service is going on, after you speak a little bit about the person, after that immediately they are discussing about current affairs. That's how fast, quickly people forget us and our accomplishments. So the Lord is saying, don't worry. So the universal form of the Lord is unlimited. The energies of the Lord is unlimited. And actually that is a meditation that we should all get. Anor aniya mahato mahiyan. Atma sajantur nihitam guhayam. The Kathopanishad speaks about Anor aniyan, the Lord becoming smaller than the smallest and bigger than the biggest. And He has entered into this cave of our heart. Tam akratuf pashyati vita shokah dhatu prasadat mahimanam atmanah. So it speaks about that how only those who are tam akratuf, that means one who is free from the contaminations of the mind. Tam akratuf pashyati vita shokah, one who is free from lamentation and attachments, obviously. And one who has received dhatu prasadat mahimanam atmanah, one who has actually received the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can actually understand that Atma who's all pervading. Everywhere. He's everywhere. He's within us, He's outside. Not just in the temple, He's actually everywhere. So, Srila Prabhupada is explaining this in this way, that how we can be Krishna conscious in our day-to-day lives by being in this universe and observing Him in everything. So, Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana ki jai.